Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Citadelum Last Conqueror of Britannia DLC. So last episode was a bit of a patchy start and I wasn't happy with the city layout, so we've made a few adjustments and changes and everything's compact and fitting in quite nicely now. We're making 1,118 per day in terms of our denarii income, which is really good. It means our tax officers are up, running and working efficiently. We've got 2 bathhouses, we've got our doctor's office, and I've adjusted where the temples are so that everything fits in and everybody is just about getting access to all of the gods. We also have the crematorium, which is doing a good job. Bathhouses are helping everyone. We can build our tavern now, which is what we're going to do when we get a bit more money. And to do that, we're going to need some grape orchards, which I, as well, can't afford. We have our 10 denarii remaining, which isn't great, but we're making a lot more money day per day, which is good. We need to boost the desirability of some of these areas, which I've already started, as you can see, but we do need to make that adjustment very soon. We're only at 918 per day and we are dropping, and entertainment is something that we're going to need to do. So we're going to get an acting school built now. I'm going to build out the other side of the tax office here, and then we're going to put in our theatre. And this needs quite a bit of space, but it has a fairly sizable area of effect, so we're going to put it at the back here, or maybe around here by this marketplace, and it can still get everybody that it needs involved. So we'll have that run along the marketplace there. I'll maybe then move the acting school so it's kind of bordering there. I think it does stick out a little bit though. Where have I gone? There, yeah. Sticks out a touch, but I think that's actually all right. Yeah, it's in the same square, so we can put the acting school around the back of the theatre there, so people walk past the acting school to get to it, and then we'll have some decoration or something. Maybe I'll delete that road. I don't like that too much, so we'll put in a new road that comes along here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, and then links up there. We can put some nice gardens or decorative areas there, or maybe that's where we'll put our next tavern. Anyway, the next step then is to hire some actors. Now, I can't afford that right now, which is going to be a running theme, really. We're on 165 per day, so we aren't making as much money as I would have liked, and that's because of a lack of desirability in these areas. So we can just about put in some gardens to hopefully boost these back up. Gets one of them to 10%, so they will grow, and we don't have enough money now to continue that. That's another one at 10% though, and an angry god, but we'll deal with that. This is going to be the theme, I think, for quite some time. Apollo is upset. What's he going to take from us? Food. That's all right. He's just stealing a bit of food. We can sort that out. We're almost at the end of another day and we'll get a little bit of income, which means we can put more into decorating things. So that's good. Let's get some more gardens built when we have the opportunity to do so, which is now good. That's a garden there, and one there, and one there, one on the edge. And then we can just about, I think we're all done there. So now we can put in some colonnades, and I think the places for colonnades are going to be these little areas here outside of people's houses, because that gives them a nice little boost. And if we're just very careful about where we put them, you can see now the income is going up per day. So we let that happen as quickly as possible. We still can't afford our actors yet, but that will come soon enough. The gods have kind of been appeased for now after that last slight disaster. And at the end of this day, we'll be able to upgrade these again, because you can see we've dropped down with our plebeian population as well. Some of them have upgraded back though, which is good, but they do need that 25% mark to be hit. So as soon as we have more money, we're making 1,152. So the end of this day, we'll be in a much better position again. We can hopefully accommodate some actors. Plebeian housing is dropping though, so we need to be very, very careful, because with our population taking a hit and people moving out, we've got homeless citizens now, so we're going to need to upgrade them as soon as possible. That's going to be our first step, really. The plebeian housing is important to us. Patricians, we're okay, because you can see at the top there, our cap of 61, we haven't yet hit that, but plebeians, we need to bring that back up by upgrading houses, which we'll do as soon as we tick over and take in our taxes. There we go. Right, so these will upgrade instantly, or they should do. We'll get all of these kitted out with a little bit of a colonnade there coming off into the main settlement, and we can do the same here to get these patrician houses back up and get them upgraded. Good. Right, so we're pretty much back how we ended last episode, but we should now have these upgrades coming in. And once we get to 25%, which we'll do with colonnades or something, we're just going to replace these with paved roads now. Having the money to do that is very useful. So we'll keep going all the way around, just paving all of these roads here going into the main city. We'll have one coming away from the tax office, and then we'll get that. Then at the end of the next day, we'll be able to do it again. Yeah, okay, so we've recovered. It's looking a little bit better now. Obviously, having more colonnades is going to help us immensely, but the resources in general are looking okay. We're at 58 of 58 plebeian population, but we are going to continue to lose that until we get in enough wheat and stuff. Wheat, we are losing more wheat than we're producing, so we're going to put a few more people working in those farms. Onions, carrots. Carrots are a difficult one, so we're going to drop one out of carrots. Hopefully they'll go into working in onion or something, and then we can sort that out. Cabbages, how's that looking? Cabbages are on parity. The bread, on the other hand, we're making a lot more than we need, I think, so we can drop down someone from bread. There we go, that leaves us at 100 per day, and that should see things start to improve. We'll drop carrots again. That does impact us a little bit, but it means we can get more wheat being produced. And it's about getting more people moving in. So we kind of have to drop back a step. You can see now we're back up to 61 plebeian population that we can get in. And that's good. So next up then, we need to boost the decoration because with our plebeians, we can actually, if we hit that 25% cap, we'll recover fully, really. So let's get some more gardens put in. Before I do that, though, we're going to hire 2 actors, get them trained up, and then we can start putting on some plays. We're going to get attacked by another angry god at some point, no doubt. So we'll get some colonnades going all the way down here, all the way down here, and all the way down here. It does leave us a little bit short of our money, so we'll just build a smaller one there, and then we should be able to... Let's see if we can just connect these ones. We'll come out one. And then again, we'll get some more money coming in. And once everything is hooked up with a colonnade, we'll start to see some growth. There we go. We'll get up to 84 in our plebeian population, which is good. Patricians, of course, they're now going to need milk and fish fillets. So to do that, we're going to need to build a fishery somewhere. Now, we can't do it over here, so we're going to have to put some food production in this area here. So we'll start by building a fishing dock once we get a bit more money. That can go there. Then we'll put a fishmonger in right next to it. We'll bring a road coming off here, and we'll put in a new granary for that sort of stuff. Good. Right, okay, that can go there. People will start working there. We'll start filleting fish, and hopefully that will give us a little bit of a boost to our production. We don't have any workers assigned yet, but we should get some more people moving in very soon. There has been a murder. Patricians are leaving, but the plebeians will generally be quite happy. They're going to want melons. They're also going to want milk and a tavern. So we can build our tavern now. I'm going to build it right here. We'll put it here because then I can build some gardens out the back that will improve the look and attractiveness of that plebeian house. We do need a grape orchard, so we're going to put the grape orchard here, and we will allow this granary to accept grapes. Angry gods coming in imminently, but that's grapes done, and we can make our winery now. So where's that winery? There it is. We'll put the winery right here. Let's actually just build a brand new granary there, and that granary will work for our winery. So we'll have this one only accept grapes, which means we can stop this one accepting grapes. But we also need it to take in wine as well. Fully expecting a god to attack us any minute now, but we are making a lot of money per day, which means we can finish off the decorative areas here. Before I do that, we need to do the road. That's just going to go all the way around and then coming through here. So that road is all set up now. We'll go to our decorative. We'll put in a long colonnade to here and another long one to here. Excellent. Right, so that's now colonnaded off. We can do another one that starts coming up here, and that should boost the patrician housing. And we can't do that for another day yet. We need some more taxes to roll in, and you'll see that I've left a little bit of space there. And who is it this time? This looks like Minerva. It is. Now that will have an impact on our resources, but we can just rebuild as she goes. Tomorrow we can rebuild the stonecutter and the sawmill, so that's not an issue. We'll just wait for the money to come back in. And our theatre can actually now start by putting on a play. So we'll get that done so that there's some entertainment. We'll repair the collapsed buildings, and then we can hopefully... What we need to do is we need to get a pig farm very quickly, because that's going to let us start sacrificing pigs at these temples and keep the gods happy. Like you can see at this moment in time, everybody's okay. They're relatively satisfied, but we need to really start pushing on upgrading our patrician houses. Now, if we have a look at our fish fillets at the moment, we are not producing anywhere near enough, so we're going to need more people working in that fishmonger. We are almost at the cap for our plebeian population, and I don't want to build any more housing, so melons and milk is going to be our next objective, really. There's also a Temple of Pluto here, which I've totally forgotten about, so we're going to need to put that in. The problem is it doesn't really fit anywhere unless I make some adjustments. Although that does work. He's just in range there, so we can put the Temple of Pluto right there on the corner. Not ideal, unless I move this Temple of Mars here. Will the Temple of Apollo move in one? Yes. Then the Temple of Mars we can put here. There we go, that's a little bit better. And then I put a little garden in there. So we've had some money come in, so we can put a small garden right there. We could replace that with something a little bit more extravagant later on down the line, but for now I'm quite happy with that. Right, the next step was to get a theatre on the go, celebration event there, and then over here we'll rebuild. Production is back underway. Excellent. Right, so plebeians, we need a brand new... What do we need? We need melon. So we'll put our melon orchard here, and we'll allow this granary to accept melons. We'll get someone working in that. We don't want 4 though, we just need 2, I think. And then it's milk. Now, we are probably going to need, unless we can get some... This one can actually upgrade if we put in some decorative items. So let's have a colonnade here. That takes it up to 25%, so that should upgrade. That will also take that one up to 25% and upgrade it as well. Now we want to keep the colonnade running down and all the way along to here. And that is looking really good now. I will then upgrade the stone road to here. And we're at a new prestige level as well. Good. Now the problem with our advancing prestige is it leaves us vulnerable to attacks from the enemy. At the moment, we're only at a 10% enemy raid risk, but I do need to be aware of that. And we have now got an increased plebeian population again. So if we just have a quick look at our melons, what are we doing for that? We are producing more than we're consuming, so that is going to help out our plebeians. We now need to put in a new farm, and it's a cow farm. Now, the farms are going to start kind of coming off in this direction, I think. So we'll put 1 here and 1 here. Then we've got to put in a road there, and we'll have it kind of come out this direction, I think. So they're going to start producing milk. Good. Right, so when we get the milk in, our plebeian housing should start to upgrade once it hits a certain desirability level. They're at 37% right now. So if we can actually replace some of the gardens here with columns, takes it up to 44% and gives it enough to upgrade. We're only at 40% here, so again we'll demolish these gardens and we'll put in columns again, and that takes that over 40%. So these guys should all upgrade to the next tier. Then over here we've got 40 there, we've hit the cap there, and this one just needs the columns put in as well. Or we could put in a couple of fountains, which has a large impact on all of the other ones around it as well. Then we just need to get some milk Now, milk is going to be a difficult one because I think our patricians need it as well. So we're going to boost the workers in that space. And what we need is we need milk to be produced quite heavily. So if I go to my salt mine, because at the moment that is overproducing. So we'll drop that down to 1. We can actually also have a look at the clay. That's currently at 1 and that's at 1. Then we can come down to our stone quarry here and just drop them out as well. The same with the lumber. Yeah, okay, right. Starting to look a lot better now. Stone cutter will drop out as well. Sawmill's already down there. All right, good. So we now have more space for plebeians because that's kind of coming along nicely. Tavern's up and running. Looking over at our patricians now. They needed milk. They're now getting milk. And they just need a desirability boost to move on to the next tier. And we can do that with the money that we've got by putting in a load of colonnades all the way along. We're not going to put one there. We're going to run it across the front here. Just about getting it to there. We rolled over into the next day as well, so we can continue that on. Oh no, we can't because we don't have enough stone. That's what we need. So our stone cutters, we're going to have to get back to work, putting in a few more of them. Currently, though, unemployment is not an issue. We've got a lot of stuff going on here, but we are going to need to turn our attention very soon to some sort of defensive measures. We've got 1 unemployed citizen, so we'll put them back into the stone cutters. Why not? And again, we could go into the stone quarry. There we go. What's going on here? The warehouse is pretty full, so another warehouse might be a good idea. Just put it right there. 1 person going to work in that, and we are back underway and looking pretty good. Right, so we've gotten through what was a very difficult side here. Rome needs labour. We need to deliver 20 plebeians to Rome. We've got 4 days to do that, and they'll give us 750 wheat. So how do I actually do this? Oh dear, we've annoyed a god. Well, we thought this was going to happen. We can actually... Oh, we can just click on send. Here we go. And Pluto is the one who's unhappy. He's just demolishing stuff because he's an idiot. Well, we get it back up and running. It's been a murder. That was it from Pluto, by the looks of things, so... I'm not too bothered about that, really. That's worked out okay. Let's get this paved road done because it's annoying me. We don't have enough money to do it, so I'll have to wait. And I just want to start linking up my paved roads now, so that's going to be very useful. There we go. We can link this one up nicely, and we can do the same here. I think that's already paved. Good. Excellent. Right. Now, colonnades going in and to the top and all the way along here. I don't have enough stone for that, but that's okay. We'll run some up to here. Just about makes it to that area there, and another one to finish that off and complete the route to the tax office. And you can see things are looking really nice now, actually. We'll demolish here. I think it's these 2. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, okay, so if we have a look at our decorative, again, the lion statue can go right there. Yeah, okay, so we'll put a lion statue there, fountain there. Or a fountain there, and then a lion statue here. Nice big boost there for that plebeian patrician house. They are wanting eggs and pork steaks. We've got a fire due to some rioting. Why are you rioting? Just be quiet. You are going crazy. That's annoying. Okay, so I wasn't expecting that. We've got a building on fire now due to some rioting that's been happening. That was unexpected, but we've lost the Temple of Ceres. Let's rebuild it. She's not going to be happy about that, is she? Right. So we should now be able to do some festivals. So I'm going to give Ceres a festival. We can't do anyone else, and we can only do 1 festival a day. Our theatre is ready for another play, so we'll get that done. Yes, we've got to wait for a festival to end before we do a new one, but we can do a festival to Pluto as well. So we might as well. Let's have a look at who else we've got. Mars and Jupiter. Jupiter's not happy, so let's do a Jupiter one. There we go. And then we'll get one for Mars done quickly. Right, so eggs, fish fillets. What's going on with the fish? Yeah, we need more people working in the fishmonger. It's... Right, okay, maybe we need a brand new fishmonger then. So, there's a second fishmonger. Hopefully someone will get to work in there soon. We need more people to move in. We're getting around about 6 people moving in per day, so we should be okay. The play is being performed, the market's working quite nicely, and I have now got enough money to finish paving the middle road. There we go. We got this lovely big town square now, which I really do like. Now, of course, for decorative, we can put in the capitoline she-wolf, which I'm going to put right there. And then we'll put a monumental column there. And then a small garden. Actually, let's move the she-wolf to here. And then put a garden in there. And then alongside the bathhouse, we'll put some more gardens in. Now, this one is only at 25% or something. It's not quite made it to the upgrade, so we'll run that final colonnade all the way along. And that is looking really good. We can then also just put some colonnades linking up back there. Nice. Right. Oh, this is looking much better now. Oof. That was tense for a little bit, but we can, now that we've established our settlement, we can start chipping away at some of these objectives. Before I do that, though, we're going to need a military presence. I sense that attacks are going to start happening very soon. So, where is our iron? Currently, our iron is over there being produced, so I think back here, we'll make a road to here. And then this is where we'll start making our military. So for that, we're going to need some recruits barracks, and I'm going to have a nice few recruits barracks running all the way along here. So that's 4 recruits barracks. I'd like to get about 10, and then we'll just be able to start churning out troops and have them ready for action as soon as possible. We're probably going to need to move this reservoir back a little bit simply because of where this road goes, because I would like the wall to back out onto that road. And if I just have a look at my reservoirs, that one might need to come forward 1. And this one needs to move backwards 1. So if we move this back a touch to there. Like that. We can then very quickly demolish this aqueduct and build a new one. Like so. Then we need to move this one forward 1. Demolish that one, and then put in a second one to there. Then got a final road to put in. Then we can get the road going all the way along there. Now this warehouse is probably going to need to move, and the iron mine will need to move as well, because we have now got the, we're building the wall along there. Okay, so we're able to wall off the whole city now, and we can start looking at how we do that. Right, okay, what have we got here? Build 10 plebeian houses. I didn't want to do this, but we are just going to very quickly put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Is that now built? Where's Mars? Mars is upset. Quickly do a celebration for him. There we go. Oh, it was plebeian housing, and I built patrician housing. What a fool. Let's do that again. Right, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go, people's favours increased, and we'll immediately demolish these. And there we go. Excellent. Right, that's good. Whew. Okay, so we're going to finish there. We've had a really good run today. We've recovered fully, and people are a lot happier. The gods, on the other hand, not so much, but you can see now we're starting to get to a point where, you know, we need eggs, we need pork, and everything's looking a lot better than it was. So next episode, we'll continue to push on with that. And we will also work a little bit more in depth on our military. So I'm just going to finish placing all of my recruits barracks. I need 2 more to finish that one off. But we're making about 4,200 per day. The taxes are a little bit higher. I did do that to recover a little bit. So happy days. It's taken us around about, well, we're approaching the end of day 27. So by day 30, I would imagine, we have got all of our military ready for action. And we should be starting to build our city defences. That will then give us the opportunity to start making some inroads into the map. Having the population that we're at now, I'm pretty happy, really. We just, you know, we've got a couple here that we need to boost up above the 40% mark. I think it's just this one, actually, so we'll quickly do that before we say goodbye. I'll put in a column and a fountain, and that should just see that upgrade once it's able to. Yeah, we're doing well now. I'm happy with how things have kind of worked out. Having that little bit of redevelopment really did help. And finally, the final 2 recruits barracks. We're going to need to put in some sort of protection for them, though, because the engineers' posts and stuff need to be added in. So we're going to do that, and a fire station with a little well behind it. And that should solve those issues. We can take a blessing from Ceres to end this episode. So I want to thank you all again for watching another episode of the Citadelum DLC. Some of these new changes have made it a little bit more challenging, which is good because I was finding it quite easy. So 2.0 definitely starting to give me some really good and really strong indications that the game is continuing to develop really, really well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.